Hey everybody, this is Squid with your Squid's Mobile Repair. So we are heading up to Rockaway Beach in Oregon. We gotta do a diagnose on a 99 Toyota 4Runner. Lady says she thinks it's her ignition switch. We'll find out for sure if it's the ignition switch itself or if it's the ignition cylinder lock, or it could be something else. We're gonna go to the parts store first and get a couple parts just in case, so I don't have to come back, drive 30 minutes to go get parts in case it is one of those two items. So let's go on up. Let's get it done. If you like the video, hit that like. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. And also at the very end of the video, I'll be asking you a question about the things I said during the video, and write a comment and to see if you know what I said. All right, it's very important that you do this before you perform a job on a vehicle. All right, catch you when I get up there. So we're up here at this 99 Toyota 4Runner. Lady said she had issues last night, but not for the last 2 weeks, and she didn't have any problems till last night again. With it not wanting to start. What I'm going to do is check to see if we have any codes first. So let's go and do that. So what we're using here is the TOPDON TopScan Pro. We're going to be just check for some codes right now, just getting the information from the vehicle and all that. We'll see if it has any codes. We'll check to see if there's anything on it, live data stream and all that. This one won't be much. I won't make you go through all of this and waste your time. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to connect up with our VDIAG tool. This is the V200. First thing we're going to check, make sure we have good battery, and it's showing. Gotta check that again. Showing 12.6 volts and got negative. Next thing we're going to do, you want to check your fuses. So we're going to start. Let's see, that's ground. Now this should be done with the ignition in the off position. You'll know which ones have power, which ones are ground with the ignition switch. So that one's okay. That one had power. Like I said, we're just going over here, going through the fuses. So we got power there. And we do. And here, look for our box here. Alternator starter is here. AM2, that's your 30 amp, which is going to be this one right here. Next, you want to go in and check these fuses also. Next, continue on with our diagnose. We're going to remove this panel right here. There are 4 bolts, 10mm bolts. And when you go to take this off, don't just rip it out. There may be connectors behind there that you want to unplug and all that. So I may have found the problem right away. So we're going to do before doing any work is disconnect the negative from the battery and let it discharge for just a little bit. So to get to that, we're going to, whoops, sorry about that. We're going to want to remove this ducting here. There are some screws we're going to move out of the way. Once we get those removed, that ducting removal will have better access to the connectors. So we can get the connectors off. So the second issue we found was on the actual cylinder, lock cylinder itself. It is worn out. It's easy to get out. You just pop off. You take this off, and then there's a little hole there. Push that up and put the key into accessory, and then it'll pull right out. So after double checking everything, verifying that the ignition switch was bad and the ignition lock cylinder was bad, we're going to get these two new parts installed. They just go back the same way. We're going to go with the ignition lock cylinder first, and then we'll connect the ignition switch, plug it back in, and then we'll verify that everything's working properly before we button it all up. Door just hit me in the butt. So we're all done there. Like I said, when you're putting the stuff back together, just put it back the same way you took it out. Go and connect the battery back up and make sure everything comes on, and make sure everything's working right. It's starting up just fine. I did find another issue with the vehicle, and that is the battery terminals. The cables are all corroded, and that's causing some of her issues also with not wanting to start properly, because if the cables have corrosion going down them, that's you're not getting the voltage and amperage you need from the battery. And her lock ignition switch and her lock cylinder have a little bit were worn out, which could have been causing some of the problem, but I think actually it was those cables, positive and negative cables, causing the issue. I did clean up a little bit as much as I could, going to order those parts and get those replaced. And over another day, whenever she said we'll do the lock cylinder and the ignition switch, I put the old one and then old ones back in, because new ones I got from the parts store weren't the correct ones. Go figure. One, the ignition switch, the screw ears where it's screwed on didn't even line up with the holes, and the ignition lock cylinder was actually for anti-theft and not for non-anti-theft, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. So, and that's a special order item. I hope you did catch what I was talking about earlier. The first thing that you should do when you work on a vehicle and that is to disconnect the negative. Always, whenever you work on a vehicle, always disconnect the negative first. When you're diagnosing, of course you're going to be connected, but disconnect that negative when you go to work on it, as you don't want to short something out, one of your components and all that. And just get it in your mindset. I hope you liked the video, and if you liked it, go and like it. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. You don't have to if you don't want to. We'll see y'all later. I'm going to be heading back home now. Have a good one. This is your squid.